So there is a family in Texas. They're a little west of Houston. The mom is Christy Sheats, and they're definitely for the Second Amendment. And on Facebook, she's talked about it proudly and often. In March of this year, Christy Sheats wrote, "It would be horribly tragic if my ability to protect myself or my family were taken away, but that's exactly what Democrats are determined to do by banning semi-automatic handguns." Well, Christy Sheats, she's 42. She's not going to let them do that. She's going to hold on to her guns because she's going to protect her family. And she loves her family. We know she said recently, September of 2015 on Facebook, "Happy Daughter's Day to my two amazing, sweet, kind, beautiful, intelligent girls. I love and treasure you both more than you could ever possibly know." Now, we got pictures of them too. There's Christy Sheats, the mom, with Taylor Sheats, one of her daughters. One of the daughters, 22, the other one's 17. And there's the two daughters together now. The second picture, Madison and Taylor. One of them goes to college, the other one's in high school. They both worked as babysitters. But the reason I'm telling you this story is because it does not have a happy ending. Troy Nels, who's a Fort Bend County Sheriff, that's from the local area, says, "There's been a family disturbance, and it appears that the mother ended up shooting her two children." Cops arrived on the scene and saw something very grisly. When they arrived, they found Madison Sheats, 17, and her 22-year-old sister, Taylor, had been shot. Madison died on the street while Taylor was flown to a hospital where she also died. The armed shooter was also in the street, and after refusing to drop her weapon, was shot and killed by a Fulshear officer. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, there's more details from Fusion and ABC 13, which is a local news operation. An eyewitness told ABC 13 that Taylor, Madison, and their father, Jason Sheats, were seen running outside of the house, and their daughters were reportedly already wounded. Taylor reportedly collapsed in the street, and Christy allegedly shot Madison in the back before going inside to reload. The father was unharmed. He was able to run away, call 911, but unfortunately it was too late for his daughters. So why did this happen? Yes, obviously there was a family argument, and there might have been other issues as well. You won't be surprised to find out, as BuzzFeed reports, the sheriff's office had been to Sheets' home before for previous altercations regarding, quote, a mental crisis, the spokesperson was quoted as saying. So the mother in this case, Christy Sheats, had some mental crisis before. Now, that's normal. It happens. We have a country over 300 million people, and obviously some are going to have significant mental health issues. It happens in every country. But other countries have gun control laws, and they don't hand out guns like candy to everybody. We have nearly as many guns in this country as human beings. We're number one in guns per capita by a landslide. The only country that's even remotely close to us is Somalia, where there is no central government. They have total anarchy, and yet they don't have as many guns as we do. And in the countries that have much stricter gun control, well, you have a lot less gun homicides and suicides. It's not remotely close. So when you hear a stupid talking point, oh, guns don't kill people, people kill people. No, that's so shallow. Guns make it easier for people to kill other people. So where in Japan they don't have guns because there's strict gun control, doesn't mean there are no guns. It means the number of gun homicides are much, much, much lower. And every once in a while you'll see someone getting killed by a sword or a knife. And they'll say, see, there's some violence in Japan. You're right, there's some violence in Japan. But infinitesimally small compared to the violence in America, because everyone's got a gun. So if they had a bad day where their mental crisis sparked again, oh, look at that, I have a gun on me, I'll shoot my daughter in the back. Don't weaponize the entire country. Of course, a certain percentage of the country has a great deal of issues, anger issues, drug issues, mental issues, political issues, religious issues, issues on top of issues, and we put a gun in all their hands. How many times have I told you? I'm not telling you this to take away your so-called rights, oh, because I'm sort of part of some sort of government conspiracy and then we're going to round you up in the middle of the night. No, I'm telling you so you don't kill your family. I know a lot of you don't believe it, and you think it's never going to happen to you, it's never going to happen in your neighborhood, it's never going to happen in your family, but yet every day in neighborhoods all across the country, this happens. So I'm going to leave you, unfortunately, with Christy Sheats' words again, the ones I read to you first. Remember, this is the person who had said, "It would be horribly tragic if my ability to protect myself or my family were to be taken away." But that's exactly what Democrats are determined to do by banning semi-automatic handguns. No, they were determined to try to protect you, but you didn't want to listen to them. And now your family's gone. That is deeply tragic, man. I want to make sure that doesn't happen. We're trying to help, but if you don't want that help, I know, I get it. No, I'm going to hold on to my guns. They go off accidentally. I get angry. I'm going to argue we should have more guns. What if the daughters had guns? Maybe they could have shot their mom in the back before she shot them in the back. What if none of them had guns? You know what would happen? They would have yelled at each other. Someone might have called the police, and things would have calmed down, and maybe she would have gotten some mental health treatment, and everything would have been fine. You know that in suicides, over 90% of the time, if they don't do it at that moment, they never kill themselves. Over 90% of the time. But, oh, look, there's a gun, and it's super easy. Guns don't kill people, people kill people. Although if there was no gun, over 90% of the time, I wouldn't have killed myself. Or this wouldn't have happened, or you wouldn't have shot your daughter in the back. But somebody's got to make a buck. Let's just make it easier to kill one another. That's what we're doing in this country, and it's my job to report that to you and tell you how mental it is. She wasn't the only one having a mental crisis. The entire country's having a mental crisis.